Hello and welcome back to Thalric Plays Mordheim, City of the Damned. And welcome back to our daily challenge. So let's see how long it'll take you guys to figure out what's different in today's episode. Well, I'll just sit back and talk to you a little bit the next 49 minutes and 50 seconds. Any guesses yet? So yeah, let's just put this out there. The game sound got recorded, my microphone didn't, so I'm actually just talking over the playback in VLC Media Player right now. Yeah, so I don't know. I played with a work colleague of mine and started up TeamSpeak for the first time in forever, and apparently that did something which led to Bandicam, which I used to record more time, to just change my default input device or anything like that. So for some reason it just didn't record my microphone. Yeah, so let me pay attention to what's actually happening in the video there for a moment. So I think I just figured out that there is no deadly mission today, as we can all see. And then what's next? I think I sold some stuff. Yep, I think I sold some stuff to went with a few more skills, maybe something like that. We got Vital Shot and Eradicate, I remember that. Yeah, so there will be a deadly mission today, I believe, if I remember correctly. So let's see. It's just been 2 days. I recorded this 2 days ago. I didn't have time to I noticed it right after the recording because I always listen in to just see if everything's okay. And in that case, it just wasn't. Yeah, so it's a bummer, but yeah, yesterday I didn't have time to record the audio, so I still know how this ends and what's gonna happen, but let's see how much of the details I remember, so I don't quite remember what I was talking about at all times here, just so that you're aware. I think right now I'm pointing out that I want to go for a few more skills and maybe switch somebody out, and we are going to do that. But that I don't have the money right now, so we're gonna play the mission first and then afterwards see, depending on injuries and the like, if I can afford to go for another skill or two. Because we still haven't had our next shipment request, which I'm still thoroughly confused about, basically. Mainly, I think what might be the case is that you don't only get the 10, 8, 12, whatever days it was to get the shipment, but it's that time plus the time it would take the shipment to arrive there. So I think I had 6 days left when I made the shipment, so it might not have actually been 6 days, but 8 or 9 or something like that. So we still should see that next pop-up soon, otherwise something is seriously wrong and I have no idea. But that's my theory right now. Yeah, so I went into my plans with him. So with Resilient, we need a specific toughness value. I think it is 15, which is why I'm putting all my points in there, so that I can master that and just reduce his chance to get critted even further. Just make him that much more durable again, especially against crit targets if we ever get another Demonette or something like that. Although he can't parry against her, he's still going to be somebody that can soak up a good amount of damage because he's less likely to get critted and stunned especially. Yeah. So just going through my warband here, the setup was okay. I think it was, one was Scattered and Scared, or Looting Buildings, I'm not sure which one it was, and the other one was Tightly Around the Wagon, so we're gonna see that in a moment. And because we do have almost 400 words done, I'm just gonna send this 147 over there, just to bring me up to Reputation 2 at the Black Pit Settlement. And that's gonna give us some decent money there that I can then go for skills, basically, with again. And then we still have the 200 and something left, plus whatever we're gonna make out of this one.
You are getting
to
noticed.
Get that. Yeah, it's so weird. I basically record 2 audio lines here. It's what I hear and then the microphone. So the game sound is there, it's just not my microphone. I hope it gets recorded this time. If not, I have to redo it once again, because I didn't want to release this video without any commentary this time around, and now I actually can make it work. So yeah, I'm I'm just hoping it works out. So yeah, as we can see, once again, we get a nice wordstone rush here. Our opponents will be Sisters of Sigmar. And I can already tell you that the wordstone placement is less than ideal for me. It's more, it favors them much more, and it's gonna be a difficult time to get that wordstone. I'm trying to not spoil anything here. At least not too much. It doesn't matter that I say that it's Sisters here that we're up against, but it would matter to tell you if I make the optional or not. What I can point out is, if you were paying attention, is that we are right now rank 6 with 20 out of 22 XP. So we're going to level up to rank 7 with this warband, regardless of whether or not I make the optional objective. So we're back on this map. We've seen it quite a lot over the last 6 or 7 episodes. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time that we're on it, actually. So yeah, I just pointed out that all the bridges is working, or the bridge is not broken. The bigger bridges, basically, that connect in the upper floor are also not broken, so there is a lot of movement options, basically. And as you can see, the wordstone there's not a whole lot close to me. It's mostly in their direction. So I'm trying to figure out where to go with Eradicate, just get my first turns done without going forward too much, because we can already see them and we know how close they are and how quickly they could come to us. So yeah, I decided to go up on the side here so that I can retreat back out of sight and be close enough that my quick guys can climb up on the side and just do something. And we do have a nice auger first here. What's nice is that their card is right there, so it should be easy to steal their idol, or at least doable. Not necessarily easy, because where we are right now, that street is not very wide, so we can at max have 2 or 3 units next to each other, and then would be blocking it already. So it's going to be difficult to get past that first to get the initial. The idle stone. There we go. My God, I'm even if I'm not playing, I'm still focused on what's happening right now. So I'm still sometimes have difficulties making whole sentences work, because yeah, that's how you say that the right way. My God. So you see, it's not only a gameplay issue or a recording issue. It's just me. I sometimes have difficulties just figuring out how to finish a sentence. So in that case, I just want to put myself in a decent position that if somebody comes over that small bridge, we can charge them at a diagonal angle so that I can get a second unit on there on the other diagonal side, basically. Just guarantee myself on, regardless of what comes there, we are going to be able to get 2 units on there. So I wasn't happy with Eradicate being alone up there, so I set up Squeal here in an ambush stance, just making sure that if somebody comes around the corner, they can't go for my ranged guy. And we're just going to keep them safe. But I want to play this first turn as safe as possible while still putting myself up in decent positions. Pretty much, so the idea here was that if somebody comes down there, and assuming they don't just automatically get charged by my other guy or can charge him, he's going to be able to cut that off. So yeah, that was the idea there. So let's see, we do have cheeses here in with us. We actually have both of our poison globadiers, which in this case just made me want to try and throw some globes their way. Or first of all, I wanted to see if I could reach them there, because I thought this was a reasonable range, but as it turns out, I can't really get there, I think, or I didn't want to go for it as much. Oh yeah, I just went past that trap as safely as possible. I mean, not that it would have mattered if it activated or not. Yeah, so I can't shoot, so I decided to throw some globes there, because I thought it was pretty likely that we're gonna move that way and have to move through the poison. And because I didn't know exactly where they were gonna come from, and that bridge over there is also working, I decided to throw a poison globe over there just to make sure that if they come that way as well, we can, yeah, just make sure that they run through poison there. Because if I remember correctly, I think it was Scatter and Scare, but just looking at this, it might have been possible that they could have run that way. They're not going to. That much I can already tell you. Nobody's going to come that way, so that was a bit of a waste. But that was my thought process at that point. So, a few spoilers. No, I'm not going to spoil anything that's really important or anything. because in that case it wasn't really that important that nothing happened there. So I'm just gonna point that out. So we're just gonna cover both sides once again. I'm not quite sure how close they're going to be. So I'm just covering both sides there without going forward too much and risking myself. So what I did here, I think we can talk about that, is I underestimated how slow Sisters of Sigmar can be. Most of them were in heavy armor, I believe. I didn't actually pay too much attention to it at that time, at how high their value was. It looked like most of them were in heavy armor, I think, but I didn't actually pay attention to the armor reduction, which would have told me something. And I think some of them didn't even have armor proficient. Plus a peg leg, as you will see later on, so that's gonna explain some slow movement on their behalf, I think, which just confused me in the beginning. Yeah, so that was the thing. I'm just delaying with these guys right now because I'm nervous of whether or not I can move them forward or not, because I don't really see where they are, and our initiative was quite a bit better than theirs. And that just made me want to play this a bit cautious here and just delay for a while to be able to react to anything they end up doing. Yeah, so this is not quite as exciting to just commentate over while just watching. It's much more fun to actually talk while playing. Because at that point I can voice my thoughts out loud, basically. And right now I have to try to remember what I was thinking about, and that's much more difficult, as weird as that is. Even though I could just put all of my thought power, I don't know, that sounded weird. How do you say that? All of my concentration into commentary now, it doesn't actually make it easier for me for some reason. Maybe just because I'm not used to it, or something like that, so I'm not sure. But yeah, that's an interesting revelation for myself, because I've never done anything with a scripted any for that I recorded just gameplay and then recorded audio over it. I think it's a different mindset in that case as well, because you then maybe go into some other specifics, but in this case I'm trying to remember what I was thinking at that point. Well, if I were to do it the other way, maybe it would be a different thing, because then I could also prepare what I was going to say, which in this case I really can't. I don't know. Either way, it's interesting to me, at least. Yeah, so I decided to start moving here a little bit. I remembered that if they decide to come from over there, which once again they won't, they could go for cheeses here. So I just set up risks over there to cover that front as well. I mean, it didn't look likely that somebody was going to come over there or move that direction, but I just wanted to be safe. And also, since the bridge was not broken, we had an easy way over to the other side where we knew they were going to be. Yeah, so that's why I moved Gorzon that way. And here I do make a bit of a mistake, because he's in a bit of an aggressive spot. He's going to charge forward there, which is not in his best interest. I didn't realize it at the time, but as you're going to see, I think he's going to get his charge off. I'm not sure if he's going to get charged. I don't quite remember that there. So that's the first climb that I failed here. I made all of them. I mean, it was to be expected that I was going to fail at least once with one of my warp guards, since they since they wear heavy armor. Their climb chances are just worse. I'm happy that I don't have Sleto here, because Sleto is one-armed and he would not have been able to climb up here. So I would have needed to move him over the bridge and up to the side, which could have also worked, because he could have just protected the side down there. So yeah, here we go. So Gorzon, who is once again only rank 5 or 6, I believe. Not the smartest choice on my behalf here to put him in an ambush stance there. It might have led to our Poison Globadier getting attacked here by her, but I think that might have actually been better. Because she would have put herself closer to us, and it would have put myself in a good position. Not that our position there is bad, it's just a bit problematic for Gorzon, because he is out alone there, and they can surround him if they want him to. Yeah, so I was thoroughly confused about the leader because we knew where she was since the beginning, I think. We saw the augur and her, if I'm not wrong. So she ended her turn right there. And at that point I didn't notice yet, but she does have a peg leg. And I believe she's also in heavy armor, and that's what I meant with the movement problems. So the good thing about the charges and the poison is that we already did a good amount of damage to the augur there. But yeah, as you will see with the leader of the it's the matriarch, she is very slow. So I actually think she used up all of her movement for very little bit of distance covered. At least it's what it looks like, because otherwise it doesn't really make sense. So you'll see that. So now we already see that somebody's over there. I kind of want to get the cluster, but I'm not sure I want to use Mew Mew. And I decide against it because we want his damage to bring him up in there and try to take down the augur. Also protect Sleto in the process. Or process. So that was the plan there. I can't get a charge from that close, so I decided to just go in and try to make it as close down the sides here so that they can't move past me. And now we can get 2 hits in there. So now it's starting to get a bit easier because once we're getting into the fighting, I remember stuff again and it gets a bit easier. The setup is always it doesn't get really interesting until something really happens, and during the setup nothing major happens. I got some shots in with Radicate, and I threw some poison dopes. That's about it, and the rest was just positioning and placement. So Geshtqual was definitely able to get there. We're gonna apply some more poison to ourselves, and then I still have 2 points left, and I'm just gonna back into my corner now with a little bit of I'm putting myself just right in front of it this time because I don't want to be able to get charged, but be able to charge myself, so I'm just giving myself the most reach that I can get there. And I will be able to charge a little bit onto the bridge, and with him being our leader, I thought it was okay to do that with him, to risk the one-on-one. So I could actually run past him there and not get hit by the poison as well, which surprised me at the time. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And by now, we have 2... Verminkin, by the way, that carry 2 weapons again. So their dodge stance, his dodge stance is still 80% because he's only in cloth armor. I could put him in light armor, but I've decided against it so far. Or I'm not sure if he can carry light armor, but I do have additional blue light armor, I believe, that I could use somewhere. So there we go. Down goes the augur, which actually turns out to be a bit of a mistake because now they can go for Gorzun again. I think that's what's going to happen there, if I remember correctly. And then now he can get a nice shot from back there. I think I'm going to go with a crippling shot. I'm not quite sure. Yep, there we go. But so far, things are looking good. I took a little bit of damage on Gorzun, but not too much. I decided against reloading there, and I'm just backing off again to keep myself safe. And we've already taken down 1. Yeah, so she goes into Gorzun. So as you can see, he's about 1/3 down right now. But her going in there was decent. It's only a novice. It only has a one-handed weapon. And since we're on the left... Well, they can't get past me there. I made the same mental mistake last time because I ran the Verminkin through. I thought that they had room to run through. But of course, my circle... is going to cover that, so they will not be able to go into Gorzun there and hit him from the other side. So right now, I think we're going to go through the poison. Yeah, I tried to get around that way, not going to happen, but still nothing. And as you can see, no poison resistance roll, so the animation looks a bit bigger than the circle actually is. She dodges there, but that's fine. And there we go. So far, so good. But as you can see, there aren't really any options for me to get Wordstone right now, safely at least. We do have that right side covered up pretty good, but that's just going to mean that they... Oh, yep, close miasma there. That they might try to climb up the other side and attack us from here. So that's why I'm still keeping Rearx there, not moving him. We can't really bring him into combat there right now anyways. We only have the 1 target, and I don't want to run through the poison and go near them. So that's where we're going to go there. So they do end up having a a smuggler, I pointed out that sisters don't really have any range except if they have a smuggler. So this smuggler also has kind of a mean shot and just dealt about 130 damage and a little bit of extra to us, which is about half health of our guy. And I just got very happy that she decided to not go onto the bridge but go up here and damage herself through the poison. Yeah, but I was very unhappy with that smuggler doing her thing there. So yeah, the reason she might not have shown up the first one is that she actually is stupid. She has to check for stupidity. I decided to take my better shots against the targets that are not in combat because we do have the novice there pretty surrounded, so I wasn't really worried about taking her down. So I did try to soften up the heavily armored units. And as you can see, she might not be in heavy armor, although I think that might be how heavy armor looks like, but the sister here definitely is. The novice might just be in leather, but I think it's also heavy armor. I'm not quite sure though. She also looks like she's in heavy armor, so they're just slow as sisters tend to be, but I think they were even slower than I assumed they would be. And yeah, the leader does have a peg leg, which makes her even slower, and she also looks to be in heavy armor, and all of that just makes them... You'll see with the leader what I mean. She's just super slow. Okay, let's see. So what do we do now? Yeah, because they were up there, I wasn't quite sure if they were going to try to come this way, so I thought maybe we want to go there with Ashkin. So I checked, can they come in through this building and just walk down there? They couldn't, which is why we're going to go back, and I'm not sure. Do I bring him in? Yes, we do. So I decided to just go for her. Hope she can't charge me, but she can out of that short area, unfortunately. So we do get her there, but it's still good. So let's see. What's next? Okay, so we're gonna parry there.
A new round has started.
Okay, so Radicate's still in the good spot, and I like the Vital Shot that he has on him. Thanks to her being stunned now, we can take easier shots there, which is pretty helpful, so I decided to just shoot her to make sure that we're going to take her down as quickly as possible. I still want to get as big of a numbers advantage as we can get. Also, it's going to free up some guys there and allow them to move up, because right now I'm blocking myself. There's no way for me to get past there and help Ashkin there. So there we've got the leader. So now you can see how far she can run. That's it. And if she's in heavy armor, has a peg leg, and doesn't have armor proficient, which I'm not sure, I think that might actually be her correct movement range. At least that's what it feels like. And it's so weird, and it's so little, but I think she's gonna run a very short distance again. Let's see, can I get past there? Actually, think I might be able to. Oh yeah, okay, we end up being able to get there. But I make the mistake to let myself get charged there. I probably should have tried to use my bubble there on the left side from Ashkin to go into the sister over there. But yeah, that just brings us to me taking a lot of damage with Mew Mew here and not dealing a whole lot of damage because, once again, heavy armor. And sisters are always so fun in heavy armor. So I think at this point we do go attack the novice further. Or do I move him down there? That might also be the case. Oh yeah, I see that I can't jump down there. It's not showing up. Because I probably would have gone into the sister otherwise, over there. Just walked up the stairs, so we take her down. And since I can't jump down there, I believe I'm gonna go over the bridge and cover that side still. Because at that point I remembered that they could climb up the other side, and I didn't really want them to do anything there, or I just wanted to move Rierks away so that I can get as much damage out of there as possible. So once again, I'm trying to get a large range without them being able to charge me right away, so that's why we're just staying there. And Geshtkal, since he is, as you can see, he's taken significant damage out of those 2 shots from the smuggler, which is why I decide to switch weapons with him. He has shurikens equipped on the other end. It's not a lot, and they're just wide ones, so they don't even deal decent damage, but it's a safe source of damage for him. Warp Poison doesn't specify melee damage, I believe, so I decided to just go with it, and even though it's going to cost him some attacks, it's going to reduce... it would reduce the offense points of somebody, but I don't really have a good hit chance, so I should have thought it through first. Well, I did hit, but she resisted the poison, so what can you do? Okay, next up, Jesus. I reloaded first. We did have the points for that, that's for sure, but I think I do end up... Do I end up shooting, or do I end up throwing some globes? I think I decided to go with some globes because I could hit both of them at the same time, while also renewing the poison cloud that's there, because the first 2 were gonna disappear soon. And then let's see, do I throw another globe or do I shoot? That's something I'm not quite sure. I think I start shooting the leader, because it's an easy way to shoot her. Or get some damage in there, but I'm not sure. Let's... Oh no, I end up throwing an infused globe, because we did take a lot of damage there already, and I can hit a lot of ours. It's gonna be some debuffs, but it's still 30 hit points per unit. And I actually think I pointed out I probably should have thrown 2 globes there to heal myself with, instead of the other way around, because Mew Mew took some damage and Gorzum took a little bit of damage. Especially Mew Mew is who I'm worried about there. But yeah, it's obviously too late, so what can you do? And let's see. And in his case, for example, the infused globe just gave me minus chance to climb, leap, and stuff like that. Yeah, we start up with a delay there. And Wyrix is also going to delay right now, because... And once again, there we go. She fails now. She fails a stupidity check by 1%. That was really close. I wanted to see what they were going to do next, because I'm worried what they're going to do, and I didn't want to go in aggressive. This is locked down right now, so it's going to be one-on-ones. It can't change as long as I don't go in and attack from the side, which I think we are going to do with Trice now. I was thinking about going into the smuggler, but decided against it, because then she wouldn't have to check for stupidity. And even though she does have a good chance to make it, she's already proven that she can't make it once, at least. And she might have failed it the first time as well. So here I decide to charge to make sure that I get in there. It's going to cost me an attack, but that's okay. If he gets attacked, he might be able to counter-attack. And then we also move in Rierks. We definitely need his damage. Here I was considering going in there, because we could have started with a charge or just gone with 2 Vital Strikes. But I decided to not move him yet, because I still thought they could come up here, I think. So we just delayed again and waited for them. I played it a little bit too chickeny there, I think. I probably should have been able to just bring him in over here on the right side. And I cost myself a little bit of movement there. He's not the fastest to begin with. And he's just... Delaying with him does cost me quite a bit of movement, and I delayed twice with him already. So here I decided to put our potential or future melee Globadier. I still don't know how to say his name, and I still think I pronounced the name wrong, so I'm always trying to avoid that. I didn't want to put him in that aggressive of a position to shoot the leader, so I decided to go back and just shoot the other one here. So am I correct that Hearts of the Griffin makes you immune against all alone? I'm not sure that it does, but I think that's why she, the sister here, right there, with the dagger and the hammer, didn't have to check now. I think that's what the skill does, but I've never had it myself, I think. And I've just... I couldn't remember what it did, but I think that's what it was. I got confused about it at the time, but I remembered later. So here I decided to just lock this down now and bring Rierks in, but as you can see, because I delayed now, I can't dodge with, otherwise I would have been able to. We take some poison damage, unfortunately, and we do go in with a nice critical hit, but she resists the stun, unfortunately, and hits us with a mean counterattack. And we're gonna get counterattacked again. No, we are not, but still, he's already 115 hit points down. So down to 180, which worried me a little bit as well, obviously. But yeah, as you can see, she doesn't have to check for all alone now, so there's that. So, Mew Mew, I think, took both hits here. Yeah, he did. So I started to worry about him, and as you can see, if I hadn't healed him for 30, he would already be looking worse, and that's why I also thought I probably should have gone for 2 heals. So we're still stuck there and can't really do anything to help that out. Now both sides are locked down. Right in front of me, as well as the stairs on the side, are now completely blocked, and I can't go in there to attack. So I decide to go down here and just make sure that somebody can't double back on us, so that they decide to climb up here. So we're just putting ourselves here, covering this. Is also going to give the smuggler a target to shoot, but it's a heavily armored target, so the damage should be lower. Okay, next up, let's see. So, as always with sisters, something we have to consider is their extremely high morale. Which is why it's nice that their card is so close. I still am thinking about trying to steal their idol, of course, since it's going to allow me to end this quicker.
A new round has started.
But yeah, as you can see here, it's such bottlenecks that it's not easy. There we go. That's once again all of her movement, and I have no idea. So yeah, pretty much. We just don't quite... What was I saying? Yeah, we just quite can't reach the idol right now. It's not possible. It's not there. So I decide to just take the shots that are easier for me, since I could get a 70% vital shot, which was nice. The second one will be an aim, I believe. And there we go. So once again, Radicate, he is pretty much where he wants to be. Even though if he's not on an elevated level, he has good hit chances. He gets his 2 hits. He now has purple shuriken, and they deal enough damage to be worth it by now. So he can dish out some good and secure damage for me usually, and I like that. Okay, what's next? So Geshkol, as you can see, he's also shooting with some shuriken, but he's quite a bit less successful. I decided against aims here so that I can get 2 more shots in instead of just 1, because of the high reload cost. So I went with 2 41 shots and missed both, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a bummer, but what can you do? There we go. So Mew Mew, going for her. At this point, I am worried about him, and I am a little bit annoyed that I don't hit her here. It's just by 2%, and the second one is just 39 damage. High armored units. Sisters, it's so much fun. So at this point, it's starting to get a lot easier, actually, to just figure out what I wanted to say, because I'm just, it's, at this point, I don't have to just figure out why I moved the way I did, because now it's pretty obvious. I disengage here because I can, and it's just because he's not in a good spot health-wise. I decide to just back him away so that he doesn't get hit again. And I don't move him very far because I just can make sure that we can bring somebody else in there to fill the gap before it's anybody's turn, so that they can move theirs through. So I'm just bringing Squeal over here, and I just walk in like that, because I'm hoping that I can get a second one in there, which I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, ultimately. But that's why I didn't charge and keep the dodge chance. Also, we get a nice crit here. Once again, they resist the stun, though. So we just have to end it like this and see what's going to happen next. So, Jesus. Let's see. We keep throwing some globes there, but I'm going to move him in a bit closer there, or do I just decide to shoot? I'm not sure what it's going to be. I think... Oh, yeah. We heal again because Mew Mew, once again, has taken some damage. And we want to just make sure that he will survive this. Injuries are still our biggest issue here. I've been winning most missions. That's not the issue right now, and it's actually looking good, and we're getting skills that allow us to really make this work. But permanent injuries are a problem, and characters dying is a problem, and I can't really afford that and risk that, which is why I went for a bit of healing there overall. And then we miss our good aim shot, unfortunately, by a little bit, and so he doesn't quite get the damage there. Once again, still not in a good position to get some wordstone or anything, so we're still looking bad there. So let's see. There we go, that's one down. Which is very helpful, as you can see. It allows me to get a 2-on-1 either on the Purifier or on the other one, the Sister or Novice or whatever it is. The Henchwoman on the right side. But let's see. We actually, Ashkin ends up resisting that Comet of Sigmar, which is nice. And then she misses once, and I think that's basically what she does. No, yeah, goes for another Comet on Mew Mew here. I'm happy that I healed him. And another Comet. Does that mean she had... No, yeah, she has 8 offense points at least. There, so that's pretty cool. So this time she made her stupidity check, but there we go. She reloads and now she shoots Gores. And as you can see, 40 damage is still not little, especially if she shoots us twice. But compared to what she did against Geshkol, which was 60 and 70 something, I think, it's quite the difference. So there we go. We are just going to go for 2 nice Vital Strikes, and we do get the stun this time around. And unfortunately, if I'd gotten the crit there, I believe we could have taken her down. And at this point, I am just delaying with him and taking the chance that he might get attacked just so that I can move him afterwards. I want him to go in somewhere else. And we do have our Globadier going next, who can take her down from a distance. The risk here being is that they do have a henchwoman going next, and I didn't quite remember which one it was at that point. I didn't check, I think. So yeah, he's gonna move a little bit. And let's see what's gonna happen. But so far, my plan has worked. We have them stalled out here, and they can't really go anywhere. I was aware since the beginning that I was not going to make the optional. There's a very slim chance, and now she over on the left side is down. With the way the wordstone is placed, if I want to play this safe, I can't really go for the wordstone. So now I decide to switch weapons to get the all alone check there on the right side. But I decide to check her first. Or no, didn't check there, and I just want to make sure that they can't go for me. So I decided to actually, yep, we loot her. That's how I remembered that. To go charge the novice over there, or the sister, just so that she can't move. But we end up missing, and now we get hit. And that one hurt a little bit, but it's still okay. So the good thing here is I do still get to parry. His parry is not that good yet, because I've been... Yep, and that's a problem. That's where I started instantly regretting it, because he got critted twice and stunned out of the first one. So that was, yeah, just kind of meh. Not really happy there. So this is our biggest issue right now, that he is stunned, as well as 2/3 of the way dead. We can get their card now. At this point, I'm not quite sure if the leader will be able to stop us, because I think she just has an extremely short movement range, which also dictates her charge range, obviously. So I don't think she will be able to, but I'm not quite testing it out yet. So we get a nice all-alone check there, forced her to run away and just get killed. So at this point, I don't want the Sister Superior, who's going last, to be able to go in there, I believe. So actually, oh yeah, no. Okay, in this case, I'm trying to reach the other end around. I should have seen that he didn't have the points left to get back down there to force the other sister over there into an ambush stance. At this point, I'm thinking, can I get the wordstone over there? but I don't think I end up doing it. But yeah, this was the point. Ashken couldn't really go anywhere. I just had to cover this so that the Sister Superior doesn't end up walking up here and hitting anybody, especially the guy that's stunned. So we are just trying to keep her there, and I don't understand what happened there, because she just ended her turn there. I think the game still has issues with charging in on a staircase or on stairs. So I think what might have happened there, that I maybe was supposed to charge her, but it just instead she just stopped that in her tracks and didn't move anymore. I'm not sure why that happened, or why she was this slow as well. I'm looking at her feet right now, but I think she has both of her feet still left. At this point, I decide to go for the leader, because we can get her surrounded pretty well out there, and it's gonna just make sure once we attack her that we can go for the idol, because she's the last line left there. And at this point, I'm still not sure if she could charge me if I try to get that there. So I don't know. Let's see. She goes for Sign of Sigmar. I'm still not sure what that does. I don't remember if I had that ever. So we end up charging in this direction, which also works out because then she can't go for our Poison Globadier, which I just realized after the fact. At this point, I'd already forgotten about him again when I set up Ashken there, I believe. Or I just thought that she couldn't reach him. Something of the like. So with Geshkol, at this point, he's healed up enough, I healed him twice, that we can bring him in again and try to make him help out in melee again. So since he's fast, I decide to go for the idol here. And I do have 3 points left, I believe, or 2. No, yeah, we have 2 left, but I can already charge her from there, I think. I'm not sure. Let's see how this plays out. Oh no, yeah, I remember. I decide to not charge her from there, even though we could have and still gotten the dodge. I decide to go as far left as possible so that I can get 3 guys on there, because I thought if I charged from there, I would block in a way that we couldn't have gotten a 3rd Skaven on there. So I go as far left as possible, and we just try to hit her. Unfortunately, we end up missing there. She's already taken some good damage, so getting both hits would have been nice. We once again get a good crit. Crits are getting more and more common. Since I've focused on getting crit chance with this warband, it's been paying off. And it's extremely helpful. The added, if they get critted, they lose 10% hit chance, thanks to the open wounds. If they get stunned, it's even better. So, at this point, I make the decision to, even though Mew Mew is seriously hurt as well, I decide to bring him in here to get the 2-on-1, to make sure that we get that. And also, he can deal some good damage, so I just decide to risk it and go for it. Yeah, so I always end up mixing up Mew Mew and Rierks, which is why I'm always looking if I have the Vital Strike. So that's what happened there. I just need to remember it, or just get the Vital Strike on Mew Mew as well. One of the two. Okay, so what ends up happening now? I think with Squeal, I end up going for the leader, or we cover the side again. So I'm not sure which one of the two it is. Or I also go up there. No, I think we go attack her. No, we actually move past here. Yeah, I think I go for the 2 attacks with him. So let's see. As you can see, also just looking at the morale, we are still, nobody has gone down. The poison at this point backfires a bit because I'm taking a lot of poison damage as well, which is a bit of a problem. But yeah, the upside is their morale is very close to true routing point. And I regretted this as well, right as I did it, because since she just ended her turn there, she gets a lot of attacks, and a 2-handed hammer hurts. That was so much damage. So I'm very worried right now that if that turn goes on much longer, I'm just gonna lose possibly 2 to 3 units in one go. There is a real chance of that, so I'm trying my best here to end this as quickly as possible, and my best way to make that work is go for the leader. She's the one that's damaged the most, and she's the one that I can take down in all likelihood. We still have Ashkin being able to attack there. We have Cheeses being able to shoot, and I still can get somebody third in there to attack. And I think it's going to be a Rierx. Yeah, he still has his turn as well. So right now I'm just worried about the Initiative 61 novice there, or sister. We end up missing there, unfortunately, because we don't quite know where she is and where she will pop up. If she pops up behind Mew Mew and attacks him, that could be a problem. And I'm just generally worried where she might show up. So she ends up jumping down there, and then she just ambushes there for whatever reason. I'm not sure if she could have moved further. Maybe we were blocking the jump down point there, and she just couldn't move away there. I'm not sure. So at this point, we also have to consider that the smuggler is still there. So I'm just trying to decide, do I go in here to get the 2-on-1? Or do we go into the smuggler to make sure that you can't shoot anybody? Once again, just trying to lock down their options of hitting the guys that are almost dead. Especially with our other Verminkin being one shot away from dying, basically. We end up making the decision here to just go in and hit the smuggler. And just keep her from being able to shoot whoever she wants. So at this point, I'm just trying to lock down their movement options, pretty much, and try to focus on the one target that we want to get. But if they don't make their route check, I don't know what's going to happen, if we're going to lose somebody or not. So, Ward Poison. Once again, it's the precaution in case we end up not taking her down and she gets to go again. And at this point, I decide to go for the Vital Strikes over the charge. So we do make the Vital Strike. We get the crit stun, which is beautiful. But I believe we don't get the knockdown. Yep. So that's a bit of a problem. And at this point, I'm worried. Once again, what's gonna happen? So the smuggler ends up switching weapons, and she hits us. Well, she misses with her first attack, but I believe she hits with the second one. Yep, there we go. So yet another one who's halfway dead by this point, and there we go. So she does. So I'm not too worried about this point right now, because we have stuff that it's much more problematic. So at this point, I only have one option. We need to throw a poison globe at ourselves and the enemy leader to take her down. Because the one next to me, I believe, is going next. And that's not something we can afford, so we need to make them check for routing right now. So there we go, leader is down, even though it doesn't look like it. As you can see, on the upper right side, she's out of action. So we hit her once here, we get another crit stun, which makes me super happy, since if they make their route check, she will only get one attack, and that means we are most likely going to survive. But they failed their route check, so we win. Which means not a whole lot of Wordstone, at least what we've picked up, but we do get some nice rewards here, and 13 scavenge points as well, but nobody went down, and that's the important part here.
To think one to find mighty Warband. All, die! Let leave no survivor meet. Warband grows strong great, if listen follow wise filch.
So let's see, yeah, not that much experience. I mean, the experience is not bad because the underdog bonus is nice, but we don't get the optional bonus, of course. I believe we do get another rank 10, though. There he is, so Ashkin hits that up. Redicate is also on a good way there. He got critted, so he is out for 2 days. But nothing major else happens. But our Warband ranks up, and as you can see now, we need 26 XP instead of 22. So it actually, I thought it would stay that way, but I didn't quite remember, so it went up a bit further. But that's fine, so yeah. So that's the blue light armor I remember. The sword is actually nice because I can give that to Gorzun, who is, no, Sleto, who is one-armed right now and just didn't have a good sword to give him. I still don't have a purple weapon to give to him, but right now we can give him a sword back because his parry will be much better than his dodge would ever be. So that's pretty much it, yeah. So I'm already gonna say thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next time is gonna be with live sound again, I promise you that much. Yeah, so once again, Hope you enjoyed the episode. So if you did, please leave a like and a comment. And if you want to see me play more time, just stick around. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. So I finished this 10 seconds early, so I'm just gonna keep talking until this is almost done. And bye bye.